Ollie sat in his tiny, dimly lit apartment, staring at his last $10 bill. His rent was due, his fridge was empty, and his dreams seemed impossible. "Is this really my life?" he whispered. But that night, he made a decision that changed everything. Ollie had tried everything: small jobs, failed businesses, and even borrowing money. But nothing worked. People laughed at his ideas, and his own family lost faith in him. He felt like a failure, drowning in hopelessness. One night, while watching a motivational video, something clicked. "No one is coming to save me," he realized. That night, he made a list: skills he could learn, habits he would change, and a vision for his future. Ollie woke up at 5 a.m. every day, learning new skills online. He worked odd jobs in the morning, studied at night, and invested every penny into his dream. His friends partied, he stayed focused. After months of struggle, he made his first $100 online. It wasn't much, but it was proof that his effort was working. That night, he didn't sleep, he planned his next move. Ollie's online business started growing. He reinvested every dollar, scaled his efforts, and built a brand. Soon, he was making thousands, then millions. The same people who laughed at him now wanted advice. Years later, Ollie stood in his luxury penthouse, looking at the city skyline. He smiled, remembering the $10 bill that once felt like the end. But it was never the end, it was just the beginning. Ollie's story proves that one decision can change your life. So, what's stopping you? Make your move today. Success is waiting, if you're ready to chase it. Ollie had achieved what once seemed impossible. From struggling to pay rent to owning a luxury penthouse, he had proved everyone wrong. But what most people didn't see was the hidden cost of success: the sleepless nights, the betrayals, and the constant pressure to stay at the top. Ollie soon realized that success came with its own set of problems. Old friends reappeared, not to celebrate, but to ask for money. Some tried to scam him, others spread rumors. Even family members expected handouts. As his business empire grew, so did the pressure. He wasn't competing with his past anymore, he was competing with billion-dollar corporations. Every decision mattered. One mistake, and he could lose everything. One day, Ollie's company faced its biggest challenge. A major deal collapsed, and suddenly, investors lost confidence. Stock prices dropped, and headlines called him a one-hit wonder. The fear of losing everything haunted him. But Ollie had been broke before. He knew how to fight back. Instead of panicking, he adapted. He changed his strategies, focused on innovation, and rebuilt trust. Within months, his company not only recovered, it became stronger than ever. Ollie realized that true success wasn't about money, it was about impact. He started mentoring young entrepreneurs, investing in startups, and giving back to the community. Now, he wasn't just a billionaire, he was a leader. Ollie's journey proves that success isn't just about making money, it's about surviving challenges, staying resilient, and making an impact. So ask yourself, are you ready to fight for your dreams? Ollie had conquered the business world, but his ambition didn't stop there. With wealth came influence, and with influence came an even bigger opportunity: power. But stepping into the world of politics and high-stakes decisions would teach him a new lesson: the higher you rise, the harder the fall. Ollie realized that money wasn't enough to change the world, he needed power. He started funding social programs, supporting political leaders, and soon, the media called him the future of leadership. But not everyone wanted to see him rise. Powerful people saw Ollie as a threat. Corrupt politicians, rival businessmen, and hidden forces wanted him out of the game. First, they tried to bribe him. When that failed, they attacked his reputation. Within weeks, Ollie lost billions. Fake scandals, legal battles, and betrayal from his closest allies brought him to his knees. His company's stocks crashed, investors abandoned him, and even the public turned against him. For the first time in years, Ollie thought about quitting. He had enough money to disappear forever. But then, he remembered where he started, from a $10 bill and a dream. He refused to let others define his story. Instead of hiding, Ollie fought back. He used his knowledge, influence, and connections to expose the real corruption behind the attacks. The truth came out, the public rallied behind him, and he regained everything. Ollie had learned the final lesson of success: true power isn't about money or politics, it's about standing for something bigger than yourself. He started a foundation to help young dreamers rise, just like he did. Ollie's story isn't just about money, power, or success, it's about resilience, purpose, and never giving up. So, the question is, will you rise when life knocks you down? Ollie had rebuilt his empire, cleared his name, and become a symbol of resilience. But just when he thought he had won the game of life, fate had one last test for him, a challenge greater than money, power, or politics. Would he stay true to his values, or would he lose himself in the pursuit of greatness? One evening, Ollie received an invitation, a secret meeting with the world's most powerful elites. They offered him something no amount of money could buy: control over global markets, influence over governments, and the power to shape the future. But there was a catch: he had to play by their rules. Ollie was at a crossroads. If he accepted, he would become one of the most powerful men in history, but he would also be tied to a system that controlled people rather than helped them. If he refused, he risked everything he built being destroyed again. Before Ollie could decide, his closest business partner betrayed him. Secret deals were leaked, his accounts were frozen, and his name was once again dragged through the mud. This time, however, the attack wasn't just on his wealth, it was on his character. They framed him as a fraud, a sellout, a man who had forgotten his roots. Ollie had two choices. 1. Give in to the system and regain power, but lose himself. 2. Fight alone against the most powerful forces in the world. He made his choice. He would not be owned. Ollie went public with everything. He revealed how wealth and power were controlled, how people were kept in debt, and how success was manipulated. His words shook the world. At first, he was mocked. Then, he was attacked. But then, people started waking up. Ollie lost billions, but he gained something priceless: a legacy. He built an independent system where young entrepreneurs could rise without being controlled. He had started with a $10 bill and a dream. Now, he was building a world where others could do the same, without fear, without limits. Ollie's story isn't just about money or power. It's about choosing your path, standing for something bigger, and never selling your soul. So, the question is, what will you choose, comfort or greatness? Mojha, a chubby brown cat with big, curious eyes, loved exploring the world around him. One day, while playing in the attic, he discovered an old, dusty map hidden inside a wooden box. His tail wiggled with excitement as he realized it was a treasure map. Determined to find the treasure, Mojha set out on his adventure. He walked through the village, where other animals watched in curiosity. A sneaky fox, hiding behind a cart, overheard Mojha talking about the treasure and decided to follow him. As Mojha entered the Enchanted Jungle, tall trees and glowing fireflies surrounded him. The sound of chirping birds and rustling leaves filled the air. But suddenly, mischievous monkeys jumped from the branches, trying to snatch his map. Mojha held onto the map tightly and ran as fast as he could. He jumped over logs and dashed through bushes until he reached a giant waterfall. The treasure was supposed to be behind it. But before he could go in, a mighty eagle swooped down, blocking his way. The eagle challenged Mojha to a race. If Mojha could outrun him, he would be allowed to pass. With no choice, Mojha sprinted, dodging rocks and vines. The eagle soared above, trying to slow him down with powerful gusts of wind from his wings. Mojha used his cleverness. He tricked the eagle by sliding under a fallen tree while the eagle struggled to fly over it. He reached the waterfall and leaped through it, landing in a hidden cave filled with golden treasure. Mojha had done it. He had found the legendary treasure. But instead of keeping it all for himself, he decided to share it with the other animals in his village. He became a hero, proving that kindness and intelligence always win in the end. After sharing the treasure with his village, Mojha became known as the clever cat who outwitted all the dangers of the Enchanted Jungle. But little did he know, a new challenge was on the horizon. A mysterious shadow had been following him, lurking in the village at night. One evening, as Mojha was preparing to rest, the mysterious figure approached him. It was a giant, silver fox, with eyes that gleamed like the moon. The fox spoke in a deep voice, warning Mojha that the treasure was cursed, and that he was the guardian of the treasure, bound to protect it forever. Mojha, confused and slightly frightened, listened as the silver fox told him the story of the cursed treasure. The treasure was once stolen from the spirit of the jungle, and now it was protected by a curse that would bring misfortune to anyone who tried to claim it. Mojha, though brave, had to decide whether to give it up or face the curse. After much thought, Mojha decided he couldn't let the curse harm his village. With a heavy heart, he walked back to the waterfall where he had first discovered the treasure. As he placed the treasure back into the cave, the silver fox nodded in approval and vanished into the mist. The next morning, the village was filled with peace and joy. The curse was lifted, and Mojha was praised for his bravery and selflessness. But Mojha knew that true treasure was not gold or jewels, it was the happiness and safety of his friends and family. Mojha's fame spread far and wide, and his story inspired countless others. He became known as the wise cat who not only found treasure but also understood that the greatest treasures are the ones we share and protect. Years passed, and Mojha's adventures continued, but he never forgot the lesson he learned in the Enchanted Jungle. He always remembered that sometimes, letting go of something precious can lead to something even more wonderful, a life full of love, joy, and friendship. Though the village had returned to peace, Mojha couldn't shake the feeling that something was still out there, something mysterious and unfinished. One afternoon, while exploring the forest near the village, he stumbled upon a hidden grove filled with glowing flowers. In the center was a strange stone with markings that looked remarkably like the map he had once found. Intrigued, Mojha studied the stone. As he touched it, the ground began to tremble. The stone split open, revealing another map, this one even older than the first. The markings on the new map were more intricate, leading to a place deep within the forest that Mojha had never seen. Mojha knew he had to follow this new map, but this time, he wasn't alone. The silver fox appeared once again, standing silently behind him. "The path you must take is filled with challenges," the fox warned, "but only those pure of heart can reach what lies at the end." Determined to succeed, Mojha set out once more, with the fox following closely behind. The journey was not easy. He encountered deep ravines, wild vines that seemed to move on their own, and dark caves filled with eerie echoes. But with each challenge, Mojha grew braver and smarter, learning to trust his instincts. After many trials, Mojha finally reached the end of the map, an ancient, towering tree in the heart of the forest. The tree's bark shimmered with golden light, and the air smelled of sweet, magical flowers. At its base was a small door, too small for any adult to fit through, but Mojha squeezed through easily. Inside, Mojha discovered an enchanted chamber filled with ancient relics, scrolls, glowing stones, and sparkling gems. But at the center was something truly extraordinary, a crystal that seemed to pulse with life. The silver fox stepped forward and explained that this crystal was the source of the jungle's magic and the guardian of the forest. The fox told Mojha that he had passed every test, not just because of his bravery, but because of his heart. The crystal had chosen him as the next guardian of the forest, a protector of its magic and the creatures that lived there. Mojha, humbled by the honor, knew this was his new path. From that day on, Mojha became the protector of the enchanted forest. His village thrived, and the animals of the jungle lived in harmony, knowing that Mojha was watching over them. The silver fox often visited, offering guidance and wisdom, but Mojha always remembered the greatest treasure was the friendships and bonds he had formed. Though Mojha's adventures had changed him, one thing remained the same: his heart was always full of curiosity, kindness, and a desire to help others. And so, the legend of Mojha, the brave and wise guardian of the enchanted forest, lived on, inspiring generations to come. As the years passed, Mojha's role as the guardian of the enchanted forest became legendary. The village flourished under his watchful eyes, and animals from all corners of the land came seeking his wisdom. But one crisp morning, something unusual happened. A strange, dark cloud appeared over the jungle, casting an eerie shadow across the land. The silver fox appeared before Mojha, his fur glistening even under the dim sky. "A new threat approaches," the fox said gravely. "An ancient evil, long sealed away, has awakened. It seeks to corrupt the crystal and take control of the jungle's magic." Mojha's heart sank. He had protected the jungle for so long, but he had never faced anything like this before. The silver fox explained that the ancient evil was a powerful shadow creature, born from the very darkness that once threatened the forest. It was now free, and only Mojha, as the guardian, could stop it. Determined to protect the jungle and his village, Mojha set out on a new journey. This time, the path was even more treacherous. He had to venture into the heart of the jungle, where the shadow creature had been sealed away. The deeper Mojha went, the more the air grew cold, and the shadows seemed to move with a life of their own. After a long, difficult journey, Mojha finally reached the ancient temple where the shadow creature had been sealed. The temple was covered in dark vines, and the ground was cracked with age. At the entrance, Mojha found an ancient stone door with glowing symbols, but it wouldn't open without a key. He needed to find the key to unlock the temple and stop the shadow creature. Mojha searched the temple grounds, using his sharp instincts and the wisdom he had gained over the years. Deep inside the temple, he found a glowing stone pedestal with a single crystal key resting on top. But as he approached, the shadows began to stir, and the ground rumbled beneath him. The shadow creature had awakened. The shadow creature emerged from the darkness, a swirling mass of shadows with glowing red eyes. It hissed at Mojha, its voice like 1,000 whispers. "You cannot stop me, little guardian," it sneered. But Mojha, with the key in his paws, stepped forward, determined to protect the jungle. With a swift motion, Mojha inserted the crystal key into the stone door, and a burst of light erupted from it. The shadow creature screeched in anger as the temple began to glow with an intense, magical light. Mojha held his ground as the shadows around him retreated, unable to withstand the pure energy from the crystal. The battle between light and darkness raged for what seemed like hours. But Mojha's determination and the power of the crystal were stronger than the shadow creature's evil. Finally, with one final surge of light, the creature was banished back into the depths of the jungle, where it would remain sealed forever. Mojha returned to his village as a hero once more. The jungle was safe, and the balance of magic had been restored. The silver fox appeared at his side, nodding in approval. "You have done what no one else could, Mojha. The forest will always be grateful." Mojha knew that his journey was far from over. The jungle would always need a guardian, and he would always be ready to protect it. With a heart full of courage, wisdom, and love for his home, Mojha continued his role as the protector of the enchanted forest, knowing that peace would only last as long as he remained vigilant. Years passed, and Mojha's legend only grew. But as he continued his duties as the protector of the enchanted forest, whispers of a new threat began to spread. From the farthest corners of the jungle, strange occurrences were happening. The leaves of the ancient trees were turning black, and the creatures of the forest seemed restless. One evening, the silver fox appeared once again, his glowing eyes filled with urgency. "The crystal is weakening," he warned. "Its magic is being drained by an unknown force, and if it fades completely, the jungle will fall into chaos. You must find the source of this disturbance, Mojha, before it's too late." Determined to protect the jungle once again, Mojha set out on a perilous quest to find the source of the disturbance. He traveled deep into the uncharted regions of the jungle, a place even the bravest creatures avoided. The air grew colder, and the trees twisted into dark, menacing shapes as if they were alive. After days of travel, Mojha reached a hidden valley that no one had dared to enter. The valley was filled with ancient ruins and a massive, glowing crystal at its center. But there, standing before the crystal, was a dark figure, tall, cloaked, and emanating a powerful, evil energy. The dark figure turned, revealing a face twisted in malice. "So, the little guardian has come to stop me," the figure sneered. "I am the one who has been draining the crystal's power, and now, the jungle is mine to control." The figure raised a hand, and the crystal flickered, its light dimming further. Mojha stood tall, his heart filled with determination. "I won't let you take the jungle," he declared. The forest belongs to the creatures that live here, and I'll protect it with everything I have." With that, he lunged at the dark figure, claws outstretched, but the figure's dark power repelled him, sending Mojha flying back. The dark figure laughed cruelly. "You're too weak to stop me, Guardian. This crystal will soon be mine, and the jungle will fall under my rule." The figure continued to drain the crystal's power, its glow growing dimmer by the second. But Mojha refused to give up. He reached deep inside himself, calling upon the magic of the enchanted forest. Suddenly, a wave of golden light burst from Mojha's paws, pushing the dark figure back. The forest around him responded, its energy flowing into Mojha. The trees straightened, the winds picked up, and the very earth beneath them began to pulse with life. The crystal flickered back to life, its light growing brighter and stronger. The dark figure stumbled, momentarily stunned by the powerful surge of energy. Mojha took this opportunity to charge forward, his claws glowing with the magic of the forest. With one swift swipe, he shattered the dark figure's staff, breaking the spell that had been draining the crystal. The figure held in rage, but it was too late. With the dark figure's power broken, the crystal pulsed with a brilliant light, restoring its magic to full strength. The figure let out a final, desperate scream before vanishing into the shadows, never to be seen again. The jungle began to heal, the blackened leaves turning green once more, and the creatures of the forest returned to their peaceful lives. Mojha returned to his village once again, a hero. The jungle was safe, and its magic was stronger than ever. As the silver fox appeared beside him, he smiled. "You've proven yourself time and time again, Mojha. The forest will always be in good hands." Mojha knew that the jungle would always face new challenges, but he was ready for whatever came next. With his heart full of courage, love, and the unwavering spirit of a protector, Mojha would always stand guard over the enchanted forest, ensuring its magic and creatures would be safe for generations to come.